Okay, let's get started. Okay, I already opened my InDesign. All right, so when you first time launch InDesign, you'll have this welcome screen here where you can have your previously opened file, number one. And then you also will have this create new or open file. All right, so let's say, for example, I'm going to create a new document right now. Okay, click on the new document. Okay, so once you click new document, right, create new. Okay, you'll have an option, same like how you get in Illustrator. Okay, you have a, like, for example, recent, okay, saved, and then a print, web, mobile. Okay, so for example, if I go to print, okay, I have more options here. Okay, the preset of the document size. All right, and if I go to web, okay, the sizes will be on in pixel unit. All right, so let's say we are going to create a PDF in a A4 size, let's say. Okay, so let's say I go to print, for example. Okay, and then I can choose a A4 size from here. All right, and then on the right hand side here, you also have attributes that you can put it manually. Okay, for example, let's say I go to change the units to let's say millimeter, for example. Okay, so I have width and height, which I can set. And then you have a number of pages, how many pages you want to create. Okay, and all this setting, you can always change it back later also can. All right, so here I'm going to put, let's say I'm going to put 3 pages, for example. Okay, and then you have facing pages. You see, normally when you open a book, right, you have a left and right page. Okay, that is what we call as facing pages. Okay, but when it comes to ebook, we don't necessarily have to have a facing pages. All right, ebook, it can be a single page followed by next page and so on. Okay, if you want to create facing page, also can, nothing wrong with that. All right, so let's say I create a facing page just for a demo purpose, and then I increase the page to 5, let's say, and then start with number 1. Okay, this is a page number. Start with page number 1, and then primary text frame. Okay, leave it as it is, no need to check. And then number of column, how many column do you want? Okay, sometimes a certain page you may need 1 column, and some pages maybe 2 column or 3 column and so on. Okay, we can edit this later also, depends on the page. All right, so for now, just leave it as 1 column. And then column gutter is a spacing between the column. All right, that one. And if you go down here, there is a margin. Okay, margin is the space on the page, the edge, the top, left, right, and bottom. Okay, that is the spacing, which is the margin. And we have a bleeding. Okay,
pardon
bleeding.
me, but I'm just thinking whether your screen, whether our screen and your screen can correspond with each other or not. I mean, I don't have your page, so how do I go about?
New, create new, sir.
Pardon?
Create new. Can you see the create new button?
Create new.
Have you opened InDesign? Did you open Adobe Indesign? Okay, no answer. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at the bleed and slug here. So bleeding is basically the extra spacing that we give for a printing purpose. Okay, so this one, since we are doing what we call ebook, okay, we don't need this bleeding. So I'm going to just leave it as it is.
Coach, can you explain what is bleed and slug again? Bleed is between what?
Okay, this bleeding, okay, for example, let's say I'm going to put 5 mm, let's say, for example. Okay, so I'm going to create a slide. Maybe let's say I go to put 10. A slug, I'm not sure. Let's say I put 10 so that we can see clearly. Let's say all 10, and then I go to create. Okay, don't click create yet, just to show you. Okay, can you see there is a red color line and there is a blue color line? Okay, so red color line represent the bleeding. Okay, this just for a reference purpose only, not necessary you should have. Okay, if you have also nothing wrong with that. So means you give some extra spacing so that whenever you have any image or design which reach the end of the page. Okay, so for example like this, right? So I go to change my color once. Okay, let's say I have some black color or whatever color. Okay, so let me just put red color. Okay, so on a page, whenever you have a design which reach the end of the page. Oh, sorry. Okay, something like this. Okay, the top and the left, right. Okay, let's say I'm going to put a bar and then maybe I'm going to put a title, let's say. So whenever you have this kind of design which reaching the edge of the page, you have to make sure you put some extra allowance over there. Whenever we print the page, right? When we cut, we don't see any extra white color line there. Okay, so the extra part that we are putting in here, right? That one we call it as bleed. Okay, this is for printing purpose. For ebook, we don't need bleeding.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear. What about slug, coach?
Slug, I'm not sure. There is some spacing there. I'm not sure what is a slug. You can try to Google and let me know.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so previous version, I don't think so. They have a slug. They have a bleeding. All right. And maybe it's reaching a crop mark. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Okay, so you can double check that one. But basically, it's this just the extra things that we put in a guideline for us. That's all. Okay, but if you are doing for printing, if you don't put the bleed, also can, no problem. You just make sure your design got some extra over here, something like this. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Go back to my new document. Okay, so let's say I go to print and then I choose a A4 size, for example. I click create. Okay, can you all do that now? Okay, the pages, I'm going to put 3 pages and then facing pages. Okay, let me just show you facing pages first. Okay, when I create, right? So if I zoom out, to zoom out, I press Control and minus. Okay, can you see that? Always remember the first page will start on the right hand side. Okay, and the second page will be on the left hand side. Number 3 will be right hand side. Okay, if you can check with any books that you have right now, okay, you'll notice that page number 1 will always start on the right hand side. Okay, so basically when you are doing for printing purpose, magazine, books, okay, whatever to print, okay, it will be in this format. All right. Okay, so this one, let's say I don't want a facing page. Okay, if I want to edit back this document, right, after I created, I can go to File, and then I go to Document Setup. Okay, File, Document Setup, and then I still can change the number of pages, start with the what number, okay, and then the size also I can change. Okay, so the facing page I'm going to remove now because we're going to create a simple ebook now. Okay, I'm just starting out, Jeremy. Okay, so you have to create new document. Okay, after you open InDesign, you click on create, you go to print, you choose A4, the pages, you choose a 3 page, and uncheck the facing pages. That's all. Okay, create new document, go to print, choose A4 size, and then pages change to 3, facing pages uncheck, and then you click create. Okay, now after create, when I zoom out, Control and minus, I get something like this. I don't have a facing pages at number 2 and number 3, for example.
Unit must use a Picasa.
Doesn't matter. Actually, if you want to change the unit, you may change, okay, or you can put a millimeter.
Oh, okay.
So you're talking about the content, right? The 3 pages is not include the cover page, right?
Yes, it doesn't include the cover page.
Okay, thank you.
For, let's say you are doing printing, right? Okay, so you are let's say you are a writer, you want to publish your own book. Okay, of course there is a title page, not the cover page. Cover page is totally different. Okay, when you do printing, it doesn't include the cover page inside your design. It will start with the title page. title page, and then maybe there is a preface or whatever, and then maybe there is a content page. Okay, after the content page or whatever extra pages, then only it will start with the actual content, which is page number 1. Okay, but when you're doing, you can include the title page over here as your first page. And the numbering, if you notice, the title page will not have any number. Then it will start with page number 2 or number 3, Roman, basically. Okay, clear so far?
Yeah. Coach, one question, Coach.
Yeah.
You were saying that just now we can change the number of page in the setup, right?
Yep.
Page setup.
Mm.
So in the event that in the middle of the pages, I want to change the orientation to landscape or anything, can I do that?
Can, no problem.
Right?
But then, of course, you have to rearrange back your content.
Yeah, I mean the second page is the portrait, but then the third page I would like to change it to landscape.
Can, you can do that.
Can, right? So in the page setup, is that?
It is not in the page setup. Okay, if I go to my pages, let me see. Okay, if I go to window and then you choose pages, okay, you will see pages and you will get the pages panel here. Let's say, for example, the first 2 pages, I want it to be portrait. And then the third page, I want it to be landscape, let's say. Okay, so I select the third page from the page panel. And then I click this 3 lines here. There is a small line here. I can actually rotate my page. Let me see. Page. Can you see anywhere? Page attribute. Okay, here. Rotate spread view 90 degrees clockwise, let's say, for example. So when I do that, only this page will become in a landscape. Can you see that?
Okay, under page attribute, rotate spread view, is that?
Yes, correct.
And okay, yeah, Roger, can see that.
All right, so I'm going to undo back. Okay, any other question?
What about the cover page, Coach?
Okay, cover page, you want it for printing or for an ebook?
Ebook.
Okay, for an ebook, you can use the first page as your cover page, no problem.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so for example, let's say we are creating an ebook, right? So let's say I'm going to use my first page as my cover page, and then the content I'm going to start with the second page, let's say.
Yeah.
Can also, no problem. Okay, so let's say I zoom in, Control+ to zoom in, Control- to zoom out, Control 0 to fit to your view. Okay. So far clear?
Yeah.
We have lost.
Yes, Jeremy, what is the problem?
First of all, I create, but then, the screen doesn't correspond with your screen. I don't know why.
What software are you using?
The same, what do you call ID? Yeah, same. Let's say if I create, the screen shows that there's one box called letter in the middle, in the side. Is it let's start something new? Start with your document settings or from the range of document presets.
Can you look at my screen now?
Just 1 second. I've got to go back and forth between the zoom and the
You
ID.
use your alternate and tab to change between the application. Alternate and tab.
Where is the alternate?
In your keyboard. Alt and tab.
Alternate and tab.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Then it'll be much faster.
okay. To start again, I know it's very. I'm delaying others from studying, from learning.
Okay. Just take a look at my screen. Just take a look at my screen. First, I create new document, and then I go to print. Okay, normally when you can't follow with me is when you are doing together with me. That is the problem. Okay, when I'm showing, you must take a look at my screen first. Okay, when I'm showing, take a look at my screen. Please mute your audio. Elengo, mute your mic, please.
Oh, alright.
Okay, thank you. All right. So when I'm showing, right, you just take a look at my screen. When I say, okay, now you do, then you do it. Okay, then it will be much better. Okay, while I'm talking, if you're doing, you won't be able to know where actually I'm clicking. All right. So I go to create new document, and then I go to print. I go to A4 size, and then I change the page number to 3, and then I uncheck the facing pages. Okay, the unit, you can change it to millimeter. Then click create. Okay. All right. Okay, so normally to zoom in, zoom out, control plus, control minus, and control 0 to fit your view. That's number 1. And if you want to use your keyboard shortcut, right, you can use a control and a space bar. Control and space bar, you'll get the magnifying glass. You can click and drag. Let's say you want to zoom in at certain area. You can do that. Okay, control and space bar, and then click and drag. Okay, so now we already have a page, A4 size page, the white color area, and then you have a like a purple color line. Okay, that is your margin. Okay, the purple color line is your margin. All right. So let's say I want to change the margin. Okay, if I want to change the margin, what you do is you go to up here, layout, and then you go to margin and column. Okay, and then here you see my units in, I think, Picas, I think. All right, so what I do to change the unit, okay, if this is unit, I don't know how much exactly when I preview on an actual PDF or ebook. All right, so let's say I cancel first. To change the unit, all right, I go to edit, preferences, and then I go to unit and increments. Okay, edit, preferences, unit and increments, and then change the origin, the horizontal and vertical. Okay, all this change to millimeter. Okay, horizontal, vertical, change it to millimeter. Okay, can you all do that now? Edit, preferences, units and increment, change the horizontal and vertical to millimeter. Then you click OK.
Coach, my version don't have preferences, Coach.
Definitely got one.
Yeah, I also cannot find my version. It is supposed to be in edit, right?
Yes, correct. Can you share your screen?
Edit. Wait, yeah. Am I supposed to share?
Yeah, can. Norji.
I think you guys have to scroll down in the edit.
Can you see?
Yeah, I can see your desktop.
Edit.
I can see your desktop only.
Oh, I can. Okay, wait, let me stop sharing. Share. Share screen. Design. Are you able to see the screen?
Okay, yes, can.
Okay.
You go to edit.
Edit.
Don't have. You're using Mac, is it?
Yeah, I'm using MacBook.
Okay, can you go to the icon where it says ID on top? The logo.
Which one?
On the left hand side, some more left.
One left.
So no, don't have. How about you go to file?
File.
Can't see as well. Let me see. Okay, try to press. Let me see. 1 minute. What is the shortcut? Control K. Command K.
Command.
Press Command K.
InDesign preference. Yes, I found the thing, Coach.
Where is that?
InDesign CC on top beside before file. There is a preferences.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. The
Yep.
preferences. Okay, okay.
That is the logo actually, right?
Oh, okay.
There is a
InDesign, is it?
the character lah, not logo. The character.
Oh, I
The
see.
character
Okay,
InDesign.
okay, all right.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
this-
Thank you.
All right, this
Thank you, Chef.
applies to all the Adobe software on Mac.
Okay, okay. Noted.
All right, great.
Thanks.
Mr. Yavinesh, sorry, Rosalind here.
Yes, ma'am.
Lost actually, I don't know which software to download. Can you just let me know the name of it?
Adobe InDesign.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so where did we stop? Okay, the unit. Okay, go to preferences, units, and then change the horizontal and vertical to millimeter. Then after that, I go to layout, margin and column. Still the same. Did I save it?
You're not sharing the screen.
Oh, sorry, I forgotten to click OK.
Sir, share your screen.
Yeah, sharing. Okay, so after you change the horizontal and vertical to millimeter, you press OK, then go to layout, margin and column. Now I can see my units in millimeter. Okay, so you have a top, bottom, left, right. Okay, and then in the middle here, there is a constraint proportion, means it will change for all the values together. For example, let's say I increase this by pressing up arrow key in my keyboard. Okay, you can see it increased for all the 4 values. Okay, let's say, for example, if you want to add margin only on top, let's say, so you uncheck this chain button here, and then you just increase for the top only. Okay, just in case lah, in case if you want to adjust this.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to change back to maybe, let's say 10 maybe, or maybe 13, just leave it as 13. And then you have a column, okay, the number of column. Let's say if I want to increase, I can increase now. Okay, you can see the spacing between the column is this one, the gutter spacing here. Okay, I can adjust that as well. Okay, so this one, just leave it as default, don't adjust anything. Column also leave it as 1, because the first page we're going to use it as cover. All right, so let's say the number of column, leave it as 1, and then gutter spacing, don't bother because there is no column, column here. Then click OK. This one, if you want to edit only. If you don't want to edit, just leave it as default, no problem. Okay, then click OK. All right. When we do any layout, right, for a ebook or a actual magazine, all right, the number one important thing that we need to, of course, need to have some text and also some images. Okay, to include some text. Okay, so what we do is we create using the type tool over here. Okay, can you see the type tool? Okay, yes. The T letter there. Click on the type tool. And then you have to draw the text frame. How to draw the text frame? You just click and drag. Okay, click and drag to draw the text frame, and then your cursor will be there, and you can start to type. Number 1. Okay, let's say, for example, I want to put some title for my cover page. All right. Okay, so let's say I just simply type some word there. The best ebook. Okay, something like this. Okay, after I complete typing, to edit the text, I can highlight the text, okay, and then I go to the character panel. To go to the character panel, you can go to window, and then you go to, let's see, where is that? Okay, type and table, character. Shortcut is Control-T. Okay, window, type and tables, character. I will have my character panel here. And then I can change the font. Okay, let's say I simply type maybe Arial, maybe. Okay, I'm going to make it Arial bold. Okay, and then increase the font size. Press up arrow key in the keyboard. Something like this. You see, whenever I increase the font size, it will be within the text frame that I draw. Okay, so let's say something like this.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. How to open the page? You choose the print, then and choose the A4 size.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
And then increase the page number to 3 and facing pages uncheck. Okay, facing pages uncheck. Pages 3, facing pages uncheck. All right. So then use the type tool, click and drag to draw a text frame, and then you type the text. Can you all do this now? If you got problem, let me know.
Yeah,
Hello, sir. I open the A4 size. After that, I need to change any setting.
Yeah, I just told you to add the pages, 3 pages.
Okay.
Okay, if you listen carefully, right, you can learn much faster. All right, try to listen very, very carefully. Okay, thank you, Sangari. Someone who else done?
Done.
Okay, thank you.
I have not done, but I have to follow you all first. Since I can't follow.
Okay, okay. Okay, so once you complete typing, right? Complete typing, and then you highlight, you go to character panel by pressing Control T, and then you change the setting here. Okay, the setting that I changed only 3: the font type, and then the make it bold, and then I increase the font size. That's it. The rest I haven't adjusted anything. Yes, Alvin, it's a Creative Cloud.
Where does your control come from?
Yes, Jeremy.
Where does it come from? Maybe I think you click before.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Wait. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a bit noisy. Your mic. Hold your mic properly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can.
I'm thinking how you come up with the control. Which button you click to get the control panel in the center next to the page?
Control T. T, Thailand.
Control pin.
T, Thailand.
Thailand. Control tin.
T for
Control,
Thailand.
Oh, T for Thailand.
Okay, so I'm going to proceed now. Okay, after you have completed the formatting, okay, we want to enlarge the text frame now. Okay, so I'm going to use this the black color arrow there is a selection tool. Okay, click on the selection tool, then you'll get back your box selection there, and then just click and drag from the side, something like that, and then click and drag from the side as well. All right, so let's say if you don't want to put it in one line, you can always double click and then you can press enter. Okay, or you can also use your selection tool and then you adjust your text frame like this. So it will just follow according to your text frame size. Clear?
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to make this centralized. I'm going to go to paragraph panel. Okay, by going to window, type and table, and then you have paragraph. Okay, shortcut is Control Alternate T. Okay, window, type and table, paragraph. Okay, so once you open paragraph, I can click the second button, align center. Okay, you don't have to highlight your text. You just select your text frame and then change to align center. That's number one. And the entire text frame, I want it to be in the middle of the page. All right. So what do I do is I go to align panel now. Okay, I go to window, and then I go to object and layout, and then go to align. Okay, click on align, and then here on the align panel, okay, I have a few buttons here, number 1, and then align to. Can you see there is a align to? When I click align to, instead of align to selection, change it to align to margin or page, either one. Can also, or spread also can. Okay, let's say I choose margin, align to margin, and then I click the second button here, align horizontal center, click. Okay, this works same like how we do in Illustrator also. Clear?
Clear.
All right.
But coach, one question.
Yes.
In the box, there are few symbol. Can you explain that?
Okay, so all right, let me see. Okay, number 1. Okay, can you see there is the corner? Of course, you can rescale it. Okay, and then if you look at down here, there is a like a O there. Okay, that one, if you, for example, if I click here, there is a for you to change the cap, for example, small cap, and then you have a set 3, set 2. Okay, this one I'm not sure. I need to check. All right. So other than that, it's just for scaling purpose, main one. And if you look at this yellow color here, let me see. Control, click and drag. I don't see it's moving. Let me see. Okay, for object, it will be different. Okay, so there is 2 types of frame actually. One is a text frame, and then there is a object frame where we can place some images and all that. Okay, so this button here, okay, you have more options. Later, I will show you how to create a text frame from an object. Okay, so you get a better idea from for these icons here. Okay, so mainly is to just resize lah, basically. Okay, that's the main one. And another thing, if you notice, if let's say I make it slightly smaller here, right? Just take a look. I get a dash and then a hyphen, and then it goes down the text. Okay, can you see this? The ebook. Okay, this one, you can go to your paragraph panel here. You uncheck the hyphenate. Okay, if you don't want that. Okay, so when you uncheck, it will always stick together, the word. Okay, so once it stick together, it's gone missing, right? And you can see there is a plus button there, the red color there. That means there is a text overflow. Okay, so you have to make your text frame bigger, or you can flow the text. Later on, I'll show you how to flow the text. Now, currently, we just have 3 words here. If we have more text, I'll show you later how to flow the text. All right. So for now, just leave it as it is. Let's say I make it smaller back. Okay, something like this. Okay, this one done, right? The alignment. The alignment done?
Yes.
Done.
All right. So I'm going to center. Okay, let's leave it. Okay, now we're going to place an image. Okay, so normally in a cover, we don't have much information. We just have a nice image with a nice title. All right. So any extra images, who is the writer? Extra text like a writer, or published by whom, or maybe you want to put some logo, you can do that. Okay, so to place an image, okay, you can go to File, and then you go to Place. Our shortcut is Control D. Okay, so I'm going to choose an image from online. Okay, let me just open my browser. Okay, normally to download any images, a high resolution image, I go to this website, pexels.com. Okay, you will go to this website, and here you can download images for free. All right, most of the images are free, and in between you might find some advertisement there. Okay, let's say for example, I type some let's say digital. Okay, so when I type digital, I get some images here. Let's say scroll down. let's say I like this building kind of design here. So once you have chosen the image, you click the small arrow there pointing downwards to download. Okay, click the arrow, it will start to download the file. Okay, something like this. Can you all get a nice picture from this website? Any image related to your ebook?
Yes.
Okay, you go to pixels.com and then you just search, put a keyword, and then you search, choose a file, and then click the small arrow pointing downwards to download the file. If you have downloaded, please let me know.
Yes, downloaded.
Yes, done.
Okay, great. Okay, so after download, I go back to my InDesign. Okay, to place the image, I go to File, Place. Okay, or shortcut is Control D, and then I go to my download folder. Let me just details. Okay, so this is the second image that I've downloaded. Click open. Okay, once you click open, right, the image will be on your cursor. Okay, you need to click for the image to load. Okay, so I just click. Okay, once you click, you see the image is quite big.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that? Okay,
Okay.
this image is quite big, and then it's a high resolution image. Okay, so to scale it down, okay, so you press Control, and then from the corner, click, and then you press Shift key. Okay, Control, Shift, and then you drag. Drag it down, and then click and drag again. Move it up, Control and Shift, make it smaller. Bring it down, Control and Shift. If you don't press your Control, right, it will crop the image like this. Can you see this? If you don't press Control.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you press Control and then you click and drag. And
Oh, right.
also Shift key.
Mine cannot, coach. Mine cannot, coach.
Why?
Become very small. I mean, take only the small portion.
Okay, means it's cropping the image. So you
Correct.
press Command,
Command,
click, and then press Shift and drag.
Command, click, Shift, and drag. Okay. Let me try.
Can I not?
Wait, let me try again. So, okay. Got it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, just take a look. For those who didn't get it, how to scale it down, right? Okay, I'm going to remove this image, press delete in my keyboard. Okay, take a look at my screen. I already deleted. Okay, there is another way of placing image. Okay, what you can do is you draw a rectangle shape, or you can even create a rectangle frame. Can you see this, my tool here? There is a rectangle frame tool, and then there is also a rectangle tool. Okay, either one, you can choose either one, can also. Okay, for example, let's say I choose my rectangle frame tool. Click on the rectangle frame tool, and then click and drag. Same size as the document size, the page size, something like this. Click from the corner and then drag. To resize the frame, you use your selection tool and then drag from the corner. Okay, and up down here as well, it will snap nicely to your page. Something like this. Can you all do this? Okay, if you find it's quite difficult for you to adjust the size of the image, you delete the image and then you create a frame, a rectangle frame, and then you draw a same size as your page size. If anyone got problem, please let me know. Any questions?
Hello, sir. You use ID, I use Photoshop, can use or not? It's
Cannot,
the same.
Cannot, not same.
Cannot. Then
Not
how
same.
do we download the?
You go to Google, you type Adobe Indesign trial.
I'm just wondering if you have done something wrong and then you want to go back. How do you go back?
Control Z.
Control what?
Z.
Z.
Or you can go to edit and undo.
Oh, edit, undo. Okay.
Okay, the frame done. Okay, I'm going to proceed now. Okay, after you have created your frame, right? You select the frame. Make sure you select the frame. Then only you go to File and you go to Place. Okay, make sure you select the frame and then you go to File, Place, choose your image. Then you go to Open. So what will happen is it will fit inside your frame, something like this. And it will be in the center. Can? Okay, I undo back. Okay, select your frame. Okay, the one you draw. Then you go to File, Place. After you click Place, you choose your file, the file that you have downloaded, the image. Then click Open. Oops. Why does it? It's supposed to go inside. Let me see. One more time. Yep. Okay. Again. I repeat one more time. Okay. Kalau let's say your image is in your cursor, right? You click on the frame. Click on the frame. Can, Hafiza? All right, great.
Coach, how to crop the photo? Coach?
Yeah, hang on. Okay, so you see the image is still quite big. Okay, normally when you do, okay, because we choose for print, right? Remember, we choose for print. So when it comes to print, right, the images that we use, it should be in 300 dpi, the resolution. But since this is downloaded image, so whenever we download, the resolution will be 72. Okay, no worries. So to reduce the size, okay, you see, after I place the image, when I bring my mouse over the image, you see a small circle there in the middle.
Yep.
Okay, click on the circle. Just click one time. Okay, when you click the circle one time, right, when I zoom out, you can see there is a brown color border there. That is your image size. Okay, now I can actually click and drag to reduce the image size. Okay, I drag from this corner, okay, while pressing the shift key. Okay, click and drag, something like that. Then I zoom in back. Do you want me to repeat? Okay, so let me just undo back. Okay, so first we have a frame there. Okay, select the frame and then you go to File, Place, and then choose your file, click Open. If it doesn't load into your frame, right, you just click on the frame. While your image is on your cursor, click on the frame. Okay, so it will be loaded inside your frame, number one. And then you click on the selection tool. You bring your cursor on top of your image, click the small circle in the middle. You just click, then it will select the image. When you zoom out, only you can see because the image is quite big. Okay, once you see this brown color border here, you click and drag from the corner while pressing the Shift key. Press Shift and click and drag. Okay, always remember when you're scaling images, you must press Shift key. Got it?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. Up to here, are you guys done? Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, shall I proceed?
Yes.
Anyone got issues?
Good. The crop one you will show us, huh?
Yes, yes. Okay, now you can see my image is not in the exactly in the middle. My subject here is not in the middle here. So what I do, you see when we click the small circle here, the cursor changed like a hand tool here. All right, the hand tool, you can actually click and drag to reposition your image. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, you reposition the image so that it will be in the middle of your view area here. Something like this.
Mr. Yavinesh.
Yeah.
Can we adjust the photo hue saturation or the level in this InDesign? Can I?
No.
Oh, cannot. Oh.
Cannot.
So,
Okay, because this is not an image editing software, but it's more like doing a layout.
so if in that case we need to do editing before we import the photo.
Correct.
Alright.
Correct. We do it in Photoshop. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
And even you can do it after also. After placing the image, you still can edit the image and it will be updated.
Oh, okay.
All right. Just an example. Let's say, for example, this image, I click on this image and then I go to edit. I can choose edit original, but if I choose edit original now, it will open in the default software. But this is a JPEG file. It will open in a, the Windows picture preview. Okay, so we can't do edit original, but you have to manually open the file in Photoshop. You save the file and you can see here, it will say not updated yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, later I'll show you that, how to do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so now the image is placed already. We need to bring back our text. So select the image and then send it to the back. Okay, to send to back, I go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Okay, Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Then you can see your text. Okay, so for example, this position of this text is not that nice. So what I do, I just move it up a bit, and then I go to my color panel. I go to my color panel. I can go to Window, and then I go to Color. Shortcut is F6. And then click on the T over here. Okay, click on the T and then change the color to, let's say, maybe white. If your background is dark, you make it a brighter color. If your background is what you call very bright, then you make it into a darker color. Can or not?
Select the text.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm going to undo back. Okay, first select the image, go to object, arrange, send to back. Okay, once you can see your text, you select your text frame using your selection tool, and then you go to color panel. If you don't have color panel, you go to window, color, color. Okay, you'll get color panel. Once you get the color panel, you click on the small T there. That is for your to edit the text color. Okay, click on the T, then you will see there is a black color. Okay, if let's say you don't want a black and white text, you want to put some different color, you can click this small line here and then change it to CMYK or RGB, depends on your document. For example, now we choose a CMYK, we choose a for print. For print, it will be in CMYK color. Okay, click on the CMYK, and then I can change the color from here, or I can choose from bottom here also can. Okay, so for example, let's say I make it a very bright bluish color, maybe something like this.
How do you get the same IK again, coach?
Click the three line on the color panel here.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
So far clear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, now we're going to edit some more. Okay, you can see the text frame, right? There is a blue color line, which is actually when we output the file, it will not be visible. There will be only text and the image only. All right. So let's say we are done. Let's say lah. And this cover, right? Okay, so this just have a plain image and a simple text over here. Let's say you want to do some design for your image. Instead of putting a full image like this, maybe you want to put some design, and then you want to put the image inside the design. Okay, just an example for your information. Okay, so let me just select the image. Okay, let me just delete first. Just take a look first. Don't do anything. Take a look first. I put a darker color here. All right. So what I do, I go to my what we call a rectangle tool. Rectangle tool. Okay. Let's say for example, I click and drag to draw the shape, rectangle shape, and then I want to edit this rectangle shape. To edit the rectangle shape, I use my direct selection tool. Okay, same like Illustrator, you have selection tool, you have direct selection tool. Click on the direct selection tool, and then I can select only one point at this corner here, and then I can click and drag, something like this. And down here also, let's say down here as well, I click and drag, something like this. All right, so maybe I select these two point here by pressing Shift key, I can make it bigger. All right, a simple one. And then I go to place now. Select the box, and then I go to file, place, same like what we did earlier with the frame. It will be loaded inside this shape. Clear? And then same thing, of course, you need to scale it down. Okay, now you have some design over here. Correct? Okay, I'm going to repeat one more time. Okay, I'm going to delete. Okay, first of all, I create a rectangle shape using the rectangle tool. Click and drag across the page. and then I use my direct selection tool. Okay, let's say I click and drag this 2 point over here. Okay, this one we call it a vertex point, or sometimes we call it anchor point. All right, so I just click and drag and then press up arrow key. Select the 2 point and then I press up arrow key. Select this 2 point and then maybe I press down arrow key, something like that. Then the bottom 2 points here, right? Shift click both and then make it bigger. Let's say something like this. Okay, and then I use back my selection tool, select this box and then go to File, Place, choose the image, open. Okay, same thing, bring your cursor above the image, click the small circle, okay, zoom out, Control and minus, Shift and then alternate, so that it will scale from all direction. Alternate and Shift key, then you drag. Okay, when I zoom in, I get this. If I want to move this image a bit up, right? So I can just click and drag to move it up. Move up a bit more, something like this. Okay, and also I can see that there is a black color line there. Can you see this? There is a black color stroke there. Okay, so I can remove this by going to the color panel. Color panel, I can see there is a fill color and a stroke color. I can see there is a fill color and stroke color. Click on the stroke color and then I put none because I don't want any stroke color on the image. Okay. Understand or not? Can you try this? Anyone here very familiar with Illustrator? Anyone very familiar with Illustrator?
Not that much really. Just learning.
Yes, compared to Illustrator, now the InDesign is very easy because the Illustrator, when you draw the line or image and place to the background, then comes to clipping
Yes, clipping mask.
So this is not a clipping mask. This is very easy.
Yes.
Simply we place it.
Yes, correct.
Once we draw or once we rectangle or any shape.
Yes, any shape. Yes, correct.
We just draw and place only. They already fixed place.
Yeah.
Right,
yes, exactly. Okay, so same thing. Okay, you can draw any shape using the pen tool. Okay, take a look one more time. Okay, take a look at one more time. I'm deleting my image here. I can use my pen tool. Okay, I'm clicking on my pen tool. Let's say if you're good with the pen tool in Illustrator, it's the same method how you draw in Illustrator. You can click and drag like this. Let's say I just simply create some shape here, a curved shape, and then I close it at the bottom here, and then close back my path. Then I already have my path here. Then select the object, go to File, Place, and then choose your image and then open. So it will be loaded according to your shape. Okay, actually InDesign is much easier compared to Illustrator, believe me. All right. Okay, so I'm going to click on the direct selection tool. Okay, direct selection tool, you still can select your path and make adjustment of your shape. Okay, so maybe you don't want it to be something like this. Click and drag. Okay, so this one, click and drag. This one, click and drag. Okay, maybe you want to move this anchor point here. Something like this. And to move your image inside the shape, you use your selection tool. Click on the circle, zoom out, and then you can adjust the size.
Can we
And
add a anchor point?
Can. If you click and hold the pen tool, you get add anchor point, delete anchor point, convert direct selection to direct point tool.
All right.
Okay, actually, if you're used to Illustrator, once you practice with InDesign, right, maybe you will not take a look back at Illustrator. All right, because it's very, very light. That's the best thing I like in InDesign.
What's the major difference with the Illustrator and InDesign?
InDesign, you can do a book layout easily. Okay, but Illustrator, you can, of course, you can do artboard, but then it will be quite heavy and then quite difficult. For example, you want to put some page number, you want to put a title page Roman number, or maybe you want to create a template to repeat in all the chapters. Okay, all that is easy in InDesign.
All right. Can we do a tracing like in Illustrator?
No.
Oh, cannot, huh?
Cannot.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay, so this one I remove. Okay, this one also very important. If you're first time seeing this color panel, right? Okay, you must understand this color panel, you have two colors. Okay, one is the fill color and another one is the stroke color. Okay, if you have any object, for example, let's say I create a rectangle shape like this. Okay, use back my selection tool and you can change the stroke color or the fill color. So you need to click first. Click on the fill color, then only you change the color. You click on the stroke color, then only you change the color. For example, let's say I change it to a red color, maybe something like this. Okay, so if I go nearer, so you can see clearly. Okay, so you have to click on the fill color, then change the color, then click on the stroke color, change the color. All right. So this just for your information. Later we will do more on this. Okay, so this one maybe because I have a very plain white color background, so the text I'm going to make it slightly gray color. So go back to color panel, click on the T there. There is a small T, and then change it to maybe grayscale. Where is that? I don't have a grayscale. Let's say I change everything to 0, and then the black only I reduce the color a bit, so that it become a gray color a bit. Something like this. Not totally black, but a darker gray color. And maybe the position I can still change it. Okay. So far clear? Okay, InDesign not only use CMYK, it does use RGB as well. Okay, so far clear or not? Shall we proceed to the next page?
Yeah, one more question. How to put a gradient color in text?
Gradient color in text. Let me think. I think can. Okay, select the text frame here. I go to window. I go to color, and then I go to gradient. Okay. If I think InDesign is much easier. Okay, I go to T here. Okay, for the text color. And then I just apply my gradient color. If Illustrator, you can't do that, right?
All right.
Okay, and then I can change my angle maybe, and then I can change more color. Okay, click on the color. Let me just remove first. Change it to CMYK, put it a cyan, and put a blue color. No, not really. You don't have to create outline. You can go to appearance panel. You can create a new fill. Then you can apply gradient in Illustrator. Okay. All right. Okay, shall we proceed?
Yeah.
All right. So let's say the first page is done. Okay. So to go to the next page, you can just scroll down. Okay, something like this, or you can double click on your pages panel. Double click on the second page. All right, it will go to the second page. Okay, let's say this is our content page. All right.
Sorry, Coach.
Yeah.
On the cropping of the photo, how to do that?
Crop means how to crop?
How to cut the edges.
You mean, let's say, for example, here I have a crystal here. I only want the crystal, is it?
Correct.
Okay. Same. You have to draw the shape using your pen tool. Okay, and then, okay, since you already asked, right? So I'm going to release this. Okay, so let's say I have this image here. All right, so let's say I bring it down. Okay, I zoom in a bit. I use my pen tool. Okay, using the pen tool, click and drag. Okay, you draw like how you draw in Illustrator. Click and drag. Okay, click and drag. Click, and then close it back. Okay, once you close it, right? Okay, so you have a shape over here, and the image position also already correct, right? So what I do, I select the image, I cut. To cut, I press Ctrl X to cut. Then select the object that we draw. You right click, and then you go to paste into. Right click on the object, and then you go to paste into. And then of course, remove the stroke color. You get this.
That's great. But another crop like what we have in PowerPoint or anything, just cutting the square edges. How to do that?
Oh, so the image going to be square size only.
Correct.
Not odd shape like this.
Yep.
Okay, so let me just delete this. Okay, so you just okay, this one no special tool. You just click and drag. Click and drag.
Click and drag.
Yep. Using the selection tool, you just click and drag.
But it goes to the ratio. It is still.
I don't understand.
It runs to the ratio. You mean it narrow down the photo? How to break the ratio? It must be something.
Can you share your screen? What do you mean?
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yep, can.
So I just want to cut the edges at the right.
Okay, click outside first, deselect.
Deselect.
Use your selection tool, not direct selection tool. Selection tool.
Deselect, okay.
Okay, and then click on the image.
Click on the image.
Now.
The outside here, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, got it, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
All right, no problem. Okay, let me just share the screen. Okay, here you see we have two kind of a selection. When you place an image, right? Okay, so for example, let's say I don't have anything. I go to place my image. Okay, I place it, and then I make it smaller. Make it smaller like this. Okay, so I have my image. So by default, whenever you place an image, you will have a frame there actually. Okay, so when I select my image, okay, so when I click and drag from corner here, you see the frame become bigger, but the image, it doesn't. Okay, yep. Same thing. If I make it smaller, it will crop the image. Okay, something like this. And if you want to reposition the image, you need to click the circle, or you can click using the direct selection tool. Okay, you can also use your direct selection tool. For example, my arrow is white color, which is direct selection tool. I can click, you see, it is selecting the image now. Then I can scale it down if you want to scale the image. Clear?
All right. Yeah.
So I'm going to undo back.
So what's the difference between direct selection tool and selection tool?
Okay, so if a direct selection tool, you can actually select the image, number one, and not the frame.
Not the frame.
Yes, that's one of it. And another one is to select the component of the shape, like how we did edit any shape. For example, if I use my pen tool, I draw. Okay, and then if I want to edit this shape, I use my direct selection tool to move the anchor points here.
Okay.
All right. And also same, if I have a curved line using my pen tool, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Okay, I have this. To edit this line, I use my direct selection tool. Okay, I can adjust the handle. Okay.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Okay, we're going to go to next page now. Okay, this is the most important one. All right. So when we have some text and image, right? Let's say, for example, I want to change this to a 3-column, let's say. Okay, so I go to layout, margin and column. I increase this to 3-column. Something like this. Can you all do that now? You go to second page, and then you go to layout, margin and column, increase the column number to 3, then click OK. If done, let me know.
Done.
Done.
Okay, great. So now let's say you already have an existing text that you want to put in. So you just copy your text, okay, copy your text, and then you come to InDesign, you just paste it, number one. Or you can also place your text. Okay, normally when we work in InDesign, right, the text that we place shouldn't have any formatting. So normally when you have a writer, they type your whatever book maybe, or the typist write the book, they type it in Notepad. Okay, so always remember when you place, you must place it without any formatting so that you can do the formatting here itself. And the formatting shouldn't be done in Microsoft Word. Okay, if you're done also can it will, some of the text, it will follow the style from the Microsoft Word. All right, so for example, let's say for now I don't have any text. So what I do, I create a text frame first. Okay, how to create text frame? Go to type tool and then click and drag. Okay, when I click and drag, I go to the top of the margin here, click and drag. It will snap to the margin, something like this. Then you let go. Okay, so once I let go, I can see there is a cursor there. Okay, the cursor is blinking over there. Then what I do, I go to type on top here, and then I go to fill with the placeholder text. Okay, this is a sample text that I can put. Got it? Okay, I repeat one more time. Just take a look. I go to type tool, click and drag the text frame. Okay, if it is bigger or smaller, doesn't matter. Okay, let's say I make it smaller lah. Let's say I click and drag something like this. All right, so let me, sorry. Okay, and then I go to type, I go to fill with placeholder text, and you will have some text over there.
Fill with folder text.
Placeholder.
Placeholder text. Okay. Yep, got it.
Can I not? How about the rest?
What if on the first column I need
to separate the first column, I need to separate into 2 more columns again.
Only the first column, you want to make it another 2 more column.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me see. All right. If I go to margin and layout, let's say I add another one. Okay, and then we have this get tool. Let me see. There is another tool actually. Content get tool. Maybe let's try and see. Nope. Nope. Margin. I can't remember. There is one of the tool that you can actually move your what you call your margin.
Oh, okay, it's all right.
Let's see. Anyone knows about it? Okay, let me see. Okay, I can't move this.
Why want to make it another column at the first column?
Sorry, I meant to say one the first column, but separate into 2 rows lah.
Rows or column?
Rows, separate into 2 rows.
Okay, can you can do that. Okay, so for example here, okay, this one done or not? Have you placed your text?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's say you have your text already. Okay, we can actually move the text around, the text frame around. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay, so let's say I just put it on the first column, something like that. And then I click and drag so that it sit nicely on the first column, number 1. And then I make it longer so that it fit nicely up to the bottom of the column. Okay, just click and drag like this. All right, so number 1. All right, so this one, right? Okay, so we have the text frame according to the column, number 1. All right, so I'm going to put more text here. So place the text again one more time, fill with the placeholder text, something like this, so that it will fill up. Then after that, I use my selection tool, click on the text frame. Okay, can you see there is a small rectangle, square shape there?
Yeah.
Okay, on the text frame, there is a small rectangle shape, square shape. Click on the square shape. What it will do is it will continue to flow the text. Okay, it will be loaded on your cursor. Then what you do, you bring your cursor on top of the next column. Then you press alternate and click. You see, when I press alternate, you see like there is a S shape there with the arrow. Okay, for you to flow the text. So I just click while pressing alternate 1 time, click again while pressing alternate, click again while pressing alternate. Then I click back my selection tool. So what happened here, I have another column, and another column over here with a text frame, which is actually continuously will flow. So if I put my cursor on the text here by double clicking, then I go to type. When I fill with text, right, it will fill for all the column. Clear or not? Okay, again, don't worry. Okay, so once okay, let me just delete this one also. Okay, I want you to delete everything. Okay, I want you to delete all the text frame now.
Delete everything.
Please delete everything using your selection tool. Use your selection tool and then just click on the text frame and then press delete. Okay. Now what I do, I go to type tool, which is T for type tool. Click and drag from the top left-hand side corner to bottom right-hand side corner, something like this. Can you see my screen?
Okay.
Click from the top and then drag up to bottom here.
Okay.
As though there is only 1 column. Then you fill with your text.
Okay.
fill with placeholder text, or you can actually copy and paste your own text also can. Okay, so it will fill up something like this.
Okay.
Okay, if done up to here, please let me know.
Done.
Done.
All right, right. Okay, so after you have done this, use your selection tool, click on the text frame, and then make it smaller from the side here so that it will be on the first column only. Up to here, done?
Done.
All right. So after that, okay, you see there is a red color plus icon there. That means there is a text inside your text frame. There is a text overflow, we call it. Okay, so once you can see there is a text overflow, you click on this red color icon here, and then your text will be on your cursor. You press Shift key. Just now we press alternate. Now we press Shift key. Press Shift and then click on the second column, the top second column. You just click. Something like this. And if you scroll down, right, you will see there is still some more text over here on the third page.
Press the overflow square, and then
okay, select and then click on the overflow text.
Select overflow text. Okay.
Why mine? I don't have any text. Okay, something went wrong my side. Go to undo back, undo back. All right. So I click here and then press Shift key, Shift in your keyboard. Press Shift and then click on the second column.
Shift key, press on the second column.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now it fill all.
Yes,
right?
it will fill all, and also it will flow to the next page.
Flow to the next. Yes.
Okay. If your third page also you have some columns there, it will follow according to the column. Okay, just an example only, don't do anything. Let's say, for example, let's say I undo back. Okay, I have something like this. On the third page, what I do, I make it like maybe 2 column. Go to margin and column. I change it to 2 column. Click OK. And then come back here. Click on this overflow text. Shift and press. Okay, it will load into your column. If you have more text, right, it will follow accordingly. Okay, most of the time when we have books, right, okay, we get, my experience is working in a publishing company, all right, so we will get a text for the entire book in 1 or 2 notepad file. Okay, so we just copy the entire text, or we can place the text, the notepad text, and then it just flow for the entire book. So once you flow that, you immediately, you will get like a 20-30 pages book at the same time. Okay, so you don't have to every time place the text. After you place the text, then only you do the formatting. So far clear?
Yeah. Coach, what about if in the middle of this 4 column, I want to put some photo? What should I do?
Yes, coming to that.
Okay.
Okay, of course, our ebook's not going to be like plain text like this, right?
Yep.
Okay, so, okay, in the middle here, let's say I want to put some images. Okay, so I'm going to place another image. Okay, let's say this image, the one I downloaded. And then I just click outside here and make it smaller. Make it smaller. Something like this. Okay, I already made it smaller a bit. Okay, like this, right? Okay, maybe I can crop it. Okay, and then I can place it on top of this page, let's say. Okay, and then I make it, let's say, slightly bigger. Control, click and drag. Okay, like this. Okay, behind this image, there are some text, correct? Correct or not?
Yes.
Okay, so what I do, I select the image and then I go to text wrap. Okay, I go to window and then I go to text wrap over here, Control Alternate W. Shortcut is Control Alternate W. And then you can choose the second option, wrap around the bounding box. Click that. So that the text won't be behind the text, behind the image. And also I can increase the gap of this margin from the image there. Something like this. Okay, this applies to, let's say I want to place the same image. Let's say I just simply duplicate this and make it smaller. Okay, you see, whenever I place it anywhere, the text will automatically flow accordingly. Okay, it will not be overlapping with the image. Can you see that?
Click outside. Place.
Do you want me to repeat?
Yes, please.
All right. So I remove this. I remove this image. Okay. After you have flow your text. Okay. Let's say the first two columns, I want to put some images. Okay, on top area here. So first of all, we're going to place the image. Go to File and Place. Okay. So let's say, let me see. Icon. Okay, there is a small image over here. Let's say I choose the small one. And then I click, it will become very small. And then Control, click and drag with the Shift button so that it will be proportionate. And here also same. So it is covering two of the column here. And then maybe I put it on top somewhere here. And then I go to text wrap, choose the second one, and then add some spacing. Just like that. Okay. Can you try first?
Trying.
Yavinesh, I need help.
Yes, yes, sure. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, wait. When I import the place the picture and the wording, all is turned under 80 degree already. How?
Again, share your screen, please. What you have done?
I don't know. I don't know. When I place the image and wording, all is rotating.
You try to Control Z and see.
Control Z. Okay. Then I place it.
Your text is already upside down, you know?
Yeah. That's why I don't know how.
Okay, can you go to your pages?
Wait, pages. Where's the pages?
Window pages. On the right hand side, you can see pages. Properties, pages, CC library. Yeah. Click that.
All right.
Okay. Go to the 3 line there on the pages.
All right.
And then go to page attribute. Okay, and then rotate the spread view 180 degrees.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Okay, now place your image.
All right.
Control, click and drag. Undo back.
Undo. Control.
Click and then press Shift. Yep.
All right.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Okay, nice image actually. Okay, I want to show you something.
All right.
Since you already placed a PNG image.
All right.
But But that is a different, right? That is transparent, right, Coach?
Yeah, that's a PNG image. Okay, in InDesign, you can place a AI file, you can place a PSD file, you can place a PNG, JPEG, or whatever format. All right, so for example, let's say, I think I have, let me see. PNG. Okay, let's say I have this image, Alienware image. Okay, when I click here, okay, not this, sorry. Okay. Okay, this image. Okay, so this is a PNG image. Okay, for example, let's say you have an image like this. Okay, so and then I'm going to make it smaller. Maybe bigger is better. All right. So let's say I put it at the bottom here. Okay, now, okay, just take a look, everyone. Just take a look. Okay, this is a transparent image, right? This is a PNG image. Okay, let's say I want the text to flow around this laptop. Okay, not in a square or rectangle shape, but the shape according to this laptop. Okay, what I do, first of all, I do a text wrap. All right, and then I choose the second option here. All right, and then the spacing, I'm going to leave it first. Okay, now I can use my add anchor point tool. All right, go to pen tool here. I go to add anchor point tool, and then I can add the anchor point for my text wrap. Can you see that? And I can use my direct selection tool to actually move these anchor points. Let's say somewhere here. And this one, maybe somewhere here. And this one, click and drag. So let's say I add here, and then I go to add another one more, something like this. Can you see that? Okay, of course, maybe you don't want to put something like this lah. This one, I make it slightly bigger. I don't want here, the one here, or you can use the delete anchor point and then remove the points. This one, make it bigger. Understand or not?
That's good. How to, okay. This part I understand, but the front part I don't understand. On the wrap text, Coach, wrap text.
Okay.
How to do wrap text?
Okay, let me just go back to wrap text. Okay, you go to window, and then you go to, where is that? Text wrap.
Go to window, go to text wrap.
Okay. Okay. And then select your image, and then choose your second option here.
Select my image, choose the second option there. Okay. Done.
Okay, so let's say I reset back. Okay, when I choose the second option, my text will not be overlapping with the image, number one.
Yeah.
Okay, and what I do, I choose add anchor point tool. From the pen tool, click and hold the pen tool. Okay, you'll see add anchor point tool. Okay, click on the add anchor point tool, and then you add, let's say, 1 point here and another point over here. Let's say just 2 points. Then to move these 2 points, I use my direct selection tool. Click on the direct selection tool, you click and drag this point, the point that you have just added. Just click and drag. Click and drag. And here also, click and drag. Let's say something like this.
But Coach, the text, how do I make sure it's justified, aligned, Coach?
Okay, here we haven't do the text formatting yet. Okay, we'll come to that shortly.
Okay.
Okay, this one not necessarily must be a PNG image. It could be any image with a white color background also can. Let's say, for example, the first we have 2 columns here, right? 4 columns here, right? Okay, so let's say I don't want one of these 2 column here become a 1 column. So I can easily delete one of the text frame, the middle one, and then select the previous column here. I can just straight away make it bigger like this. So I have a bigger column and a smaller 2 column.
Sir, the anchor point cannot make it in cursive.
Cannot.
Oh, cannot. All right. Thank you.
Which part? Repeat.
The 2 column comes to 1 column.
All right, sure. Okay, originally we have something like this, right? Okay, so let's say I want to make these 2 columns to become 1 column. And you must remember the entire text is actually flowing. There is a continuation between all these 4 columns. Let's say if I delete this column, okay, or maybe I make it smaller, maybe, you see all this text will flow to the next one. Okay, if I make it smaller, the text will flow to the next column. All right, something like this. So even if I delete this text frame, it will continue over here. So you don't have to worry about deleting the text frame if it is flowing. If the text is flowing, you don't have to worry. If let's say I select the first text frame here, I just click and drag. Click and drag to make it bigger. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
All right. If got any problem, you may share your screen. I can show you.
Coach, I'll share my screen, Coach.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Coach.
Yep.
So this text, I want to make it justify a line.
Okay. You go to paragraph panel.
This is a paragraph, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, you need to select all the text. You double click on one of the text there, double click.
Double click.
Control A to select.
Command A to select.
Yes, correct. And then justify, the number 4.
Justify. Okay.
Number 4.
Yeah, justify already.
Not that one, number 4.
Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here.
Number 4, not number 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. What's the difference?
Okay, can you see that? Okay, can you try
there, right?
to? Yeah, can you try to repeat the one you did earlier?
Okay. So I select all, right?
No. Delete that. Okay. Click on the text.
Click on the text. Double click on the text.
Control A. Control A.
Control A.
Command A.
Okay.
And then use back the one you used previously. You see the last line.
Yes.
Take a look at the last line. Try to click and see. Try to click.
Try to click here.
Then you take a look.
Yes, the part here. So number 4 is here lah. Okay. Okay. Correct. Thanks.
How about the others? Do you guys want to take a break?
Yeah.
Sir, how to download the ID? Can you show in the screen?
Yeah, sure can. Okay, we take a short break, 10 minutes break.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we meet back at 9:05. 9:06. Okay, so let me share my screen.
Hello. Hello.
Alex,
Yes.
mute. Okay, thank you. Okay, so can you see this? Who's that one? Is it? Okay, so I go to a website. I'm not sure whether you are looking at my screen or not. Are you there, Pan?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I'm here.
I can see you.
Here.
Alright. So I go to here. I type Adobe Indesign trial. Okay, and then I enter. All right. Why I'm getting this? Okay, and then I go to the first one is this advertisement. We don't go to advertisement. The second one, Adobe InDesign free download and free trial. Okay, click on that. And then you'll get the InDesign page, and then you click on try for free. Can I not? Then you follow the instruction.
Okay, try for free for 7 days only lah.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, all right.
Sir, how to download? Can you continue the step?
Okay, so just take a look. I go to, okay, I go to this page, and then I click on try for free. Okay, and then follow the instruction below to install InDesign. Click the installer, then follow the prompt. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if you scroll down here, you see my InDesign setup already start to download. Correct?
Okay.
Okay, and then you just open this file. Just open this file.
This is zip file or?
Not zip file, it's an exe file. You just open, and then you will get this page.
Just open, and we can open the page. Same like just now you open it.
You will get this.
Just click continue.
Yes, correct. Okay, and then it will ask you to enter your email address. Okay, if you don't have a what we call Adobe account, what you do, you can either continue with Google, continue with Facebook, continue with Apple, or you can create an account. Okay.
Okay.
That one you do it lah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right.
Sir, sorry.
Yep.
Yes, I want to ask how to continue the text from from the first column to the next. Sorry.
Sure, no problem. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, I select the last column. Let's say this is my first column, whatever column. Okay, you scroll down, you take a look at the last cursor here, the shape of a small square shape. Okay, click on the small square shape, and your text will be loaded on your cursor like this. Then you go to the next column, you just click. Okay, if let's say you have more than one column, let's say I remove all this. Okay, let's say I remove this also, make it smaller. Okay, same thing. You scroll down, select the text frame, click on the small square button there. Okay, click, and it will load it on your cursor. You press shift and click. Okay, why it doesn't go? Okay, why it doesn't go? Because there is some text at the bottom here. So you need to press alternate instead of shift. Okay, so I'm going to undo back. Press alternate, click, 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 while pressing alternate key. Okay, and then click back your selection tool.
Hi, sir. Why we need to press the alternate key? Because
okay, shift means it will automatically flow. Kalau alternate, dia column by column.
Okay, because my one, after I click the symbol of the arrow, when I go up to the next column, I forgot to press the alternate, but it still appear there. Is there any difference?
Yes, there is a difference. Okay, for example, okay, let's say I delete this. Okay, I select this column, right? Okay, and then I click here. Okay, now if I click again, dah sudah. Okay, undo balik, undo balik. Delete this as well. Okay, something's went wrong. I need to undo back now, sorry. Okay, now I don't press anything. Okay, so I don't press alternate, I don't press shift. If I just simply click here, right? Okay, my cursor, you can see it goes back to my selection tool. I don't have any more text over here on my cursor.
Okay, understand.
Okay, kalau tak tekan. Okay, if I press alternate, I will still have my text on the cursor. I still can continue clicking.
Okay then.
Okay, kalau shift also same. Dia akan load one time only. Alright, so let me just remove this. Okay, select back this text. I click here. And then if I press shift, right? I press shift. Nampak tak? Shift dia ada a solid S type of curve. Okay, but when I press alternate, you see that there is a dot and then solid line. Okay, there is two different things, shift dengan alternate. Alternate, you have to click, and keep on clicking. Kalau shift, okay, you just shift and then click one time. Your cursor will become your selection tool again, but the text will be flowing, continue flowing to the next page. Okay?
Okay, understood. Thanks, sir.
All right. Yeah.
Hi, just now you did one where you pasted the text box over all the columns, and then after that, how do you move it into the individual column? I remember you pressed something with the shift as well.
Alternate. I press alternate and then click to put
No,
it
as in, you know,
column.
you pasted the text box over all 4 columns, and then you fill with the placeholder text. So some of the text appeared in between the gaps within the column.
Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so for example, I press alternate. Is it like this?
No. Actually, when you had 4 individual columns, the page is clear, right? Then you pasted a text box over the whole page, meaning across all 4 columns, and then you filled the whole page with placeholder text. And then I think you did something with the shift. You press the arrow key and then you press shift and then you adjust it so that the text would not appear between the gaps.
Okay, like this, right? First of all,
correct. Yes.
You create one column only, one text frame only.
Yes.
Then I make it smaller so that it fit into one of the column.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
This one, InDesign automatically detects the between the column is not a column actually. This is a gutter, the spacing between the column. Okay. So when I select the first text frame here, and then I click the flow the text. Okay, so I don't know, sometimes got a problem. I couldn't click on this. See? Okay, I click here and then I press shift key and then I just click.
Okay, got it.
All right,
thank you.
Okay, if you want to fill in one by one, then you use alternate.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay, already 9:06. Are you guys back? Any other questions? How to add anchor point? Where do you want to add anchor point? Samuel? at the computer picture. Okay, that one is you have to click, use the text wrap first. Okay, example, example. Let's say I add another image here. Just an example. Go to place. Okay, let's say I place some image first. There was an apple there. Okay, I have an apple here. I just place it first. I make it smaller. Control and Shift key. Okay, and then I put my apple somewhere around here, or maybe bigger. Maybe half of the apple will be visible. Okay, let's say something like this. Okay, then select the apple. You go to window, you go to text wrap. Okay, text wrap, and then you click on the second option, wrap around bounding box. Click on that. So when you click, it will be in square shape. Okay, according to your image size. Okay, so what we do is we go to add some space here so that I can differentiate between the text wrap and the object frame here. Okay, can you see there is a small thinner line there outside? Okay, that is your text wrap line. Then I go to pen tool. At the pen tool there, you click and hold, you will find add anchor point tool. Okay, at the pen tool, click and hold, you choose add anchor point tool. Okay, after that, you just click on this part here, the outer line there. You just keep on clicking. Okay, you add few points there. After that, you use your direct selection tool. You click and drag all these points. Okay, so let's say somewhere here now. Let's start from here and then click and drag again. This one, click and drag. You see, click and drag. Click and drag. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any problem in this text wrap and then modifying the text wrap?
So far, so good, coach.
Okay, we're going to do some text formatting now. Okay, so number one, as I told you before, the hyphenate. You see, wherever there is a longer word, okay, there is a dash there, which is a hyphen. All right, so first of all, to edit, I go to, okay, so this size, I need to adjust back. All right, so first of all, go to type tool and then click anywhere on your text. You press Control A to select everything, Control A, and then you go to paragraph panel. Okay, so my paragraph panel is here. Okay, I choose uncheck the hyphenate. Okay, uncheck the hyphenate. There'll be no more the hyphen there, the dash there won't be there, number one. And let's say you want to justify, you click on the third icon here on the paragraph. Okay, so that it will fill up the entire column nicely. That's number one. Okay, can you all do that first? Okay, the justify up to you lah. Normally I don't prefer justify. I don't know why. I just simply don't like justify. Okay, I will just put a left align. Okay, can you uncheck the hyphenate? If got problem, please let me know. Don't just keep quiet. Okay, all right. So I'm going to proceed now. All right. So if you take a look at here, right, all this paragraph, it's quite, there is no spacing in between the paragraph. Okay, so that's number one. And this one, maybe I'm going to align first. Okay, here, since there is an image on top here, what I can do is I can select my text frame and then I can make it smaller from the top here. So that these two paragraphs, okay, will be aligned properly. So to align this, I can actually click and drag and I can see there is a green color line as a guideline for me to say that both are aligned properly, these two. When I click and drag one of it, let's say, for example, one is a smaller here, lower down here. I click and drag, move it up until I see a green color line. Okay, that is my smart guide there. Okay, then let go. So now this is aligned properly. We want to add some spacing between the paragraph. Okay, what is paragraph? Okay, every time when we type some text, right, the moment we press enter, it will become a new paragraph. Okay, something like this. Okay, my first sentence here is already ended after the full stop. Then it continues to another line here. Okay, so this is another paragraph. So click on anywhere on the text, press Ctrl A to highlight everything. Then you go back to your paragraph. Oh, sorry. Paragraph is text type paragraph. Okay, Ctrl Alternate T. Okay, go to paragraph, and then you have a few options here. Okay, number one here, it will move the entire text to the right hand side, left indent here. Okay, we don't want to do that. And number two here, down here, can you see this? The first line indent. Okay, normally when you look at a newspaper, right? Okay, they will have the first letter of the first paragraph will be slightly bigger. Okay, that is the third one actually. Okay, the third one, if I increase this, okay, this is a space before, sorry, not this. Oh, over here. Okay, drop cap number of line. Okay, let's say I put here 1. Okay, so 1 means nothing happened. If I put 2, for example, this O will cover the 2 line. Something like this. All right, if I increase more, it will become bigger. Okay, it will cover 3 lines. All right, so let's say I don't want this 1 or 2. Okay, here we have take a look at the space before and space after. Okay, the third row, okay, first column and second column here. This is space before. Let's say if I increase this, can you see this? When I increase the space before, it will add some space before the paragraph starts. But it will not apply to the first paragraph. Okay, it will apply to the second, third, and fourth paragraph. Okay, let's say I increase this to 5 millimeter, something like this. And then I click back my selection tool, and then I try to check first. I zoom out. Okay, you can see there is a second paragraph is here, third paragraph is over here. Okay, if sometimes if these things happen, right, on the third paragraph here, there's only few words there. Maybe I can adjust my image. Okay, something like this, so that I can see some more text over here. Clear or not? Space before. Space before, understand or not?
Yes.
Okay, you open the paragraph panel, you highlight all your text, and then you put your mouse over on this icon here. Then you'll get a space before. Then you just increase the number. Then you'll add some space between the paragraph. All right, this is number 1. And let's say I want to adjust the spacing between all the lines. Okay, I want to adjust the spacing between all the lines. So I go to the character panel. Okay, go to character panel. All right, so you can see there is which one is that? Okay, this one. The number 12 here, this is the font size. Same row with the font size, you have the line spacing. Okay, so if I increase this, it will increase the spacing between the lines. Can you see that? But normally we don't adjust this now. You can click the arrow there and then change back to auto. It will be automatic. So just in case if you want to adjust, you can adjust using this. Clear? Clear or not? You can try this.
Done, sir. Sir, what about the picture outside the margin? Can we just leave it? Oh.
Yes, we can just leave it. Like the apple, right? It's outside of the page here, right? So this part, it will be not visible. The one outside of the page, it will not be visible. Clear?
Okay, clear.
All right. Depends lah. This one, whether you want to show half of the object or you want to put the whole thing inside, it's up to you, totally up to you. And sometimes not necessary we have to show the entire thing. Like for example, this one, maybe I can make it slightly bigger so that it will go up to the edge of the page. Or maybe I can make it slightly bigger also can. And something like that. Can, no problem. Okay, the spacing between the paragraph, the line spacing, clear? Okay, I'm going to go to the third page now. Okay, go to the third page. Okay, we have some text here. If you don't have enough text, you just put your cursor over here and then you fill with the more text. Okay, you go to type and then fill with a placeholder text. Okay, so this is just a dummy text. If you have an actual text, you just copy and paste. All right, so here, let's say I have a 2 column. Okay, same thing. I'm going to place some images here. Press Ctrl D to place and then search for your image. Okay, example, let's say I have some images here. Okay, normally I download images from pixel.com. Okay, so for example, I have some images of this building. Let's say this one. This is square size. Okay, just click. Okay, this image is quite small. I already scale it down. Let's say I choose the bigger one. Control, Shift, and alternate and drag. Okay, Control, click, and then Shift and alternate and drag. Okay, let's say something like this, and Control, click, and drag with the Shift button, something like this. And let's say if you don't want to use the text wrap, you also can select your text frame and then make it smaller, something like this. And if you notice, there is 2 words here, which is actually flowing from the previous text. When this happens, right, you don't just leave it like this, but you try to fill up the text over here itself. Okay, maybe you can adjust the image size. Maybe, let's say, for example, this laptop, I make it slightly smaller. Slightly smaller, then the text will go up. Can you see that? Okay, and this text here, this belongs to the next paragraph. Okay, so when it belongs to next paragraph, what I do, I select this paragraph, this text frame, I make it smaller from the top, like this, so that it will flow, start with the first paragraph here. And same goes over here. Okay, you have only 1 word over here. You don't just leave it like that. You go to the previous paragraph and then you just make it smaller and it will flow to the next column. Clear so far?
But in words, they have another way how to bring it up together, right, Coach?
How is that?
Something like wrap text, but that's okay.
No idea. Okay, so this one you can easily actually flow. If, for example, if you find that you need to fill up this area, you can just click and drag. It will move to the next column easily. All right. Okay, let's say I'm going to remove all this text at the bottom. Okay, let's say text is done. Okay, the last one, we're going to take a look at master page. Okay, let's say you want to do some, maybe you want to put a small logo on the corner or at the bottom of the page, or maybe a page number, maybe, I don't know. Anything that you want to put, you want to apply to all the pages. Okay, So let's say, for example, this is my cover page. I don't want to put any logo here, or maybe I'm going to start with the second page, let's say. Okay, just take a look. I go to my pages panel. Okay, in the pages panel, there is a symbol there. Can you see that? Every page, there is a A letter there. That means it has been applied with A master over here on top. Okay, if I double click the A master here, double click the A master page, not the none, the A master, double click, you will go to the master page A. All right. So let's say I'm going to place a logo over here. Okay, so let's say I go to File, Place, search for some logo.
But coach, my A master is 2 pages in one, coach.
Because you have a facing pages.
Oh.
Correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, if you have facing pages, your A master will be double page. Okay, if you don't have a facing page, then it will be single page. All right, so let's say, for example, I select a logo here. Okay, just click. Okay, I make it smaller. I'm placing on the master page. Okay, let's say I make it much more smaller lah. Okay, because we don't have enough space over here to put it, because we didn't plan properly much earlier. All right, so let's say I don't want to put the name, slightly bigger, and then position it somewhere around here. Okay, so I already placed my logo in the master page. Okay, it's quite small actually, but when I go to my this first page, you see I can see my logo. The second page also there is a logo. Third page also there is a logo there. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you want to put some bigger logo. Because I don't have space, I have to squeeze it so small, right? Okay, so what I can do is I can adjust the margin back. Okay, let's say I go to second page. Okay, so I'm going to put the logo on the second page and the third page only. So I highlight, sorry, I can't highlight because this one got 4 columns, this one got 2 columns. So I can't do that. I need to adjust it one by one. Okay, so what I do, I select the page number 2. I go to, maybe I go to layout, margin and column, and then I increase only the top. Uncheck the small chain here so that it doesn't make changes to all. So, and then top, I just keep on increasing maybe about, let's say 26, for example, or maybe 30. Okay, 30 millimeter. And then go to the third page, also same. I go to layout, margin column, uncheck this, and then here 30, enter. So now I have my margin, something like this. So I can actually click and drag the image so that it will crop according to this size. And page 2 also same. I can image, I'm not going to do anything. The paragraph, which is I'm going to move it down, something like this, so that it will be standardized. Number 1. And if I go back to my master page, okay, same thing. I go to layout, margin, and then change this to 30, top only. And I can place my logo slightly bigger. Let's say something like this. All right, so if I go back here.
So in other words, master page will apply to all the pages, right?
Yes, correct. Okay, so on the first page, I don't want, I can remove it later. Okay, so can you try this first? Double click on the master page, you place something. It can be anything. You can put tags, you can put some shapes. Okay, you can put some circle, whatever, you can do that.
Coach, how to remove the 2 pages on the one?
Which 2 page?
The
okay, you
page.
have to, you go to File, Document Setup, remove the facing page.
Remove the, it's removed, Coach.
Uncheck, uncheck.
It's already unchecked.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can you share your screen?
Yes. Share screen.
Yes, HK. There is a way you can remove the logo on page 3.
I'm sharing my screen now, Coach.
Okay, I can see that. Okay, highlight both the page. Can you see on the master A? Okay, shift click. Shift click.
Shift click.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, and then click the line there on the top right hand side.
The line here.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
And then you go to master option for A master. And then number of pages you change to 1. Yep. Then click OK.
Okay, good. Thanks.
All right. Okay, how to make text overlap the image and logo. Okay, if you want the text to overlap the image and logo, whatever, you don't apply the text wrap. Okay, somebody asked me a question. Why you want a text to overlap the logo? I don't understand. Eileen?
Yeah, I want to try to make the text on top of the photo.
On top of the photo. So you don't do the text wrapping. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Okay, example. Let's say I go here, I place with another image. Okay, let's say this image. Okay, so I just put it here, the image, and then I make it bigger maybe. Okay, let's say something like this. Make it slightly bigger. And then here, the image is sitting on top of the text. Okay, so if you want the image to be behind the text, you just send it to the back. How to send to back? You go to Object, Arrange, Send to back. Like this. So text will be on top of the image. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay, so this one, maybe I can make it bigger. Okay, and then control, click and drag, something like that. Yes, you can do that. Okay, come back to master page. Okay, master page, any problem? When you put something on the master page, it will appear to all the master page, all the pages that use the same master page. Okay, why they have a master page? Okay, for example, let's say you are creating a book, right? Maybe you have more pages. Maybe you have 100 pages, 200 pages. Okay, all that book, you will have some like chapters, right? So each chapter, it will have its own title, correct? Okay, if you take a look at any books, right, that have chapters, every chapter title, it will repeat on the top or the bottom of the page. Yeah. Okay, so the chapters, we can set it by different master page. Okay, so let's say, for example, here I have A master. Maybe A master is for chapter 1. Okay, I can create another master, B master for chapter 2. Okay, just an example only, yeah. Just an example only. Let's say I go to A master, double click the page, double click, not select only, double click, and then I go to type tool. I type here chapter 01. Just an example. Okay, and then I go to page number 2. Okay, it's already overlapping with my image. So let me just put it at the side here. Okay, let's say something like this. Okay, so if I go to page 2, it says chapter 1. Let's say page 3 is chapter 2, let's say. Okay, so what I can do is I can create another master page. Okay, go to your pages, click the lines here, the 3 or 4 lines here, and then you go to master pages, new master page. Okay, here, new master page, new master, and then you see the prefix, it will automatically become 2, B. Okay, and then the number of page is 1, and then I click OK. So I have B master now. I go back to A master, I copy everything, select everything, and then I copy, Control C to copy, and then I go to B master, and then I go to edit, paste in place, Control Alternate Shift and B. Okay, edit, paste in place, I get something like this, number 2, and then to apply the master B on the 3rd page, Okay, I go to the third page here, and then I go to right click, apply master to pages, and then I choose B master. Then click OK. So I go back to B master, I change the text to chapter 2. Understand or not?
Yes.
Okay, but then we have only 3 pages lah. Just for your understanding only. You don't have to do this. I'm going to undo back. Okay, and then no chapter, delete. Okay, how to remove the text in between, how to remove the logo in any of these pages. Okay, if I go here, I press Control and Shift, I think. Yeah, press Control and Shift and click on the logo. Control Shift and click on the logo, and then you can actually press delete. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, that is one way. Let's say I undo back. Let's say I also have none. On the master page, I have none over there. I can go to page 1. I go to right click, apply master to pages, and then I choose none. Okay, then click OK. There be no more logo there. Got it?
Okay. Coach, how to put in a table of content, Coach?
That one is another bigger subject. Okay, but then if you want to put manually, okay, it's a straightforward lah. You create a text, what you call, text frame, and then you just type the content the normal way. But then when it comes to table of content, you should be able to click and it will go to that exact pages.
Yes.
All right. Okay, it's a bit longer process, so I'm going to skip that now.
Okay. How to view this single page into two pages in one? Can we do that?
That one is a setting in the let's say for example like PDF.
Yeah.
You can do that, but here no. Here is either facing page or single page. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. This one we are just creating the ebook. We haven't what we call publish, or we haven't created the PDF or whatever yet. Okay.
How to do page numbering?
Same thing. You go to master page.
Okay.
Okay, and then you go to type. You go to insert special character. You go to where is that? Let me see. No, not here.
Hyphen there. There's hyphen the page. One marker up on top. One more.
Okay, that. Current page number. Okay, but then here it's a gray color, right? Because we don't have a text frame yet. You need to go to type tool and then click and drag so that your cursor is there. Then only you go to type, go to insert special character, go to marker, and then current page number. Click, and it will show like an A over there. Okay, but then it is not an A letter, but it's an indication for your page number. Let's say I put this at the bottom. Okay, I take this text frame and then I put it at the bottom. I center align, something like this. If I go to my page 1, I can't see because there is an image there. Page 2, I can see. Page 3, there is an image over there. Let's say whenever there is an image, right, you still want to show your page number. What you do is you have to override. Same like how we did to remove the logo. Press Control and Shift and click on the page number. Okay, example, let's say I can't see my page number here. I make my image size bigger, smaller first. Control and Shift, click at the page number. Then it will become an individual object. All right. Then I bring it to the front. I go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Then select the image back, make it bigger again. Okay.
Coach, this page numbering will be automatic or manually?
Automatic.
Okay.
How to adjust the opacity of the image? You got that?
Okay, can, of course can. Okay, so for example, I select this image, I go to window, and then I go to object and layout. No, sorry, not that. Where is that? Transparency. Can you see transparency? Nope, nope. It should be somewhere. Let me see, go to object, effect. Okay, here. Object, effect, transparency.
Oh.
Okay, and also you have much more over here. You have a drop shadow, you have a glow, and all that. You can try also. Okay, so go to transparency and then reduce the transparency. Make sure you check the preview first. Check the preview and lower down the opacity.
All right.
See that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the question. Some more? Any questions? Any other questions? Okay, because we are just start to learn. Okay, it will take some time for you to actually master this, but then you have to start somewhere. You start to create something, and then slowly you try to troubleshoot. All right. Okay, so most importantly, yes, sir.
If we want to put a shape and want to color it out, and
you want to put a shape.
And also how to make a table for, let's say you want to do a table.
Okay, very good, very good. One of the very unique thing about InDesign, which I like personally, is the table. Creating the table, I really enjoy doing table here. All right, just for your information. But then I can show slightly how to create that. Okay, before that, how to create a shape and do coloring. Okay, so for example, let's say I go to rectangle tool here. I click and drag. Okay, I have my stroke color there, and fill color, I don't see anything. So here from the color panel, you click on the stroke color, remove the color. Click on the fill color, and then you just put some color there. That's number one. If let's say you want to put gradient color, so I'm going to copy this object here, press alternate, click and drag while pressing the selection tool. Okay, I already duplicate this. Then I go to gradient. I go to window, color, gradient. All right, I can see my gradient here. Select the object, make sure your fill color is on top. Then you click on the gradient color. All right, done. Then to change the color, click on this one of this color here and change it from your color panel. Okay, so let's say I want to put some reddish color maybe, and the other side maybe some yellowish color, and I can change the direction by adjusting the angle here. Let's say 90 degrees, something like this. All right, so this is a basic shape, and if you want to create some custom shape, which is a totally different shape, you can use the pen tool. Click the pen tool, and then you click and drag, you draw whatever shape that you want, and then you close it back. Okay, close it back, then you fill with the color. Stroke color, let's say I want to remove it. You can do that. Clear or not?
Yeah, can you help me when I do a gradient color, the dark color, when I change, you cannot change. Why?
You have to change it to a different color mode. For example, I click here. Okay, if you have black and white color, right? For example, here, this one, let's say this is black color. You go to color panel, you click this three line here, change it to CMYK or RGB.
Oh, all right. Now can.
Right.
Thank you.
And then you can change the color.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Tables.
Yes, for digital portfolio, you can do it using InDesign. Okay, for your information, for me, like personally, even my trainer profile, I do it using InDesign. My course brochures, I do using InDesign. Okay, just for your information. But of course, the poster design, like a logo design, okay, all that you use Illustrator.
So how about table?
Oh, okay. Table, okay, you go to type tool first, click draw a text frame. Let's say I have a, let's say so first title, and then next is I press tab. To create a different column, you press tab. Okay, and then I type something, tab again, type something, tab again, type something. Let's say I enter for my rows. Okay, so and then I select everything, all my text, and then I go to my table, insert, convert text to table. Okay, convert text to table, and then just click OK, because the column separator is already tabbed, row separator is a paragraph. Then click OK. So you have your table here. Okay, actually, table in InDesign is a quite powerful thing. All right. So can we see what you have done in InDesign? What do you want to see? Okay, so basically in InDesign, you can create like flyers, brochures, ebook, okay, even an entire book. And you know, the newspaper, right? The Star paper, the Sun paper, all that they use InDesign to create. Okay, all the magazine that you see, all the books, the school books that you use, all that is done using InDesign. Okay.
So what about spreadsheet, sir?
Come again?
What about spreadsheet?
Spreadsheet for what?
If there is involved some calculation, all those things, how can I put it in?
No, calculation, no, so sorry. You use Excel.
Can I, is there any linkage to Excel into here?
Can. You can bring in an Excel file, but I don't think it will be, you can send it back. You can place an Excel file, but then you have to create formatting again.
So one more question, how to adjust the table column and delete the cells inside the table?
Okay, you see here, let me just highlight here. Okay, first thing, if you want to edit, you double click. You will have your type tool active, number one. If let's say, for example, I want to delete the row, you just click and drag to highlight, and then you right click, you go to delete row, control backspace. Okay, it will delete row. Same thing, column, highlight the column, right click, and then delete column, shift backspace.
Shift backspace, okay.
Okay, that's to delete. If you want to put color, right, you can just highlight everything, or maybe let's say the first row here, I go to color panel, and then the fill color, I just put black color, and then lower down the color here, something like this.
All right.
Okay, let's say the entire page, I have only 3 columns. Just click and drag, highlight everything, and then right click, distribute column evenly. And this text, I can center align. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. Okay, to delete any pages, okay, let's say, for example, this 4th page, I don't want this page, right? Okay, so select the page number 4, and then you just click the dustbin at the bottom there. Then it will remove the page, or you can just right click and delete, or you can select the page and press delete, or cannot. Okay, right click, and then you go to delete the spread. Okay. Any more questions before we export now?
Only one question.
Yes.
With the Arabic text, it will come to the number is the left side.
There is a Farsi version of InDesign.
Oh, it's called.
There is a Arabic version. There is a Farsi version. I've done some project also on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. You can't use this English version. You cannot. It's a totally a different software.
Maybe the ME version, Middle East.
I think so.
Middle East version.
Yep.
It's
But sometime already, like many years already, I didn't do that.
Because the page setup automatically they shows from left to right.
Correct.
Right to left, is it?
Right to left.
Right to left.
Even in the pages, right? The page number 1 will be at the bottom.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Where again to insert the pages number? Page number you edit on your master page. You go to type tool, you click and drag a text frame where you want to place your page number. Then you go to type, you go to insert special character, marker, current page number. Okay, sometimes you see there is a next page number, right? So what I can do is, let's say I put current page number off, I type OF off, and then space bar, and then I go back, type, insert special character, marker, maybe, okay, I don't have total number, Oh, next page number got, total number don't have. Total number, maybe I can put it manually lah, maybe of 3, for example. Okay, so when I go back here, maybe over here, okay, 3 out of 3, and here should be 2 out of 3, and here, because we already remove it, we put none, right? None masterpiece, so I don't see anything. If let's say I right click, I apply master to pages, choose a master, then I will see 1 out of 2. Afizah, did I answer your question? Okay, right. Okay, shall we export the page now, the books?
Let's say if I want to put a background for all the pages, I need to do in a master page. Huh?
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Okay.
And let's say another thing. Let's say if you want to put all your items in the master page, and it should be sitting on top of the images. Like for example, earlier here, it was hidden, right? Correct or not? Apply masters, a master, click OK. So here you see, my image is transparent. My number is at the back of the image. If you want to put all the element from the master page to be sitting on top of all the other objects, you create layer. You go to layer, create a new layer, and then go back to your master page, select everything, you cut, and then place it in your layer 2. Okay, and then I go to edit, paste in place, and then I lock my layer 2. So whatever I do on my normal pages, I do it on layer 1. Okay, so when I put it on layer 1, for example, here, you see, this is sitting on top. Understand or not?
Please repeat again.
Okay, I will. Thank you. Okay, if I want the master page element, okay, master page element to be sitting on top of all this object on the pages, what I do, I create another layer. I go to window, I go to layer, all right, and then I will see this, there is a layer here. Okay, select all your item from your master page, Control A to select everything, Control A to select everything, and then cut. Control X to cut, or I can go to edit, cut. Okay, and then I create new layer from the layer panel, which is layer 2 now. I go to edit, paste in place. Then I lock the layer 2. Why I'm locking the layer 2? So that I don't accidentally create any element on the pages at layer 2. Okay, all these pages things, all I put it in layer 1. Okay.
Okay. Understood.
All right. Any other question? Shall we export?
Yeah, proceed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this one, let's say we're going to create a PDF book. Okay, so to export, I go to File, Export, or the shortcut is Control E. Okay, and then it will automatically, by default, it will show a PDF, number one. And then here, use InDesign document file name as the output file name. Okay, leave it as it is because this is untitled. So Untitled 3. Let's say I change it to desktop. And then I click Save. Okay, here, there is a few options here. If I click the Adobe PDF preset, it says there is a high quality PDF, some format here, and then press quality, and then smallest file size. Okay, so you can choose either you want a press quality is for printing purpose. You can choose a smaller file size, smallest file size for the web purpose. Okay, why? Okay, for example, if I go to the compression right here, you can see big downsampling to 100. Okay, here grayscale change to 150, monochrome change to 300. Okay, this one, it will lower down the image resolution. Okay, if you still remember, a screen resolution is 72 dpi. So you can set it at this resolution, no problem. Unless if you want to send a very high quality ebook, even if people zoom in also, you want to show a very nice image, then you can choose a high quality print, or you can choose press quality also can. Press quality, it will be 300 dpi. You can see downsampling to 300. Clear? So here you can just maintain as high quality. Normally what I do is high quality. If the file size is not an issue, then I choose high quality. If I need to lower down the PDF file size, then I choose either press quality or the smallest file size. Clear?
Yeah.
All right. So let's say I choose a press quality and then I click export.
Press quality.
And then click export. Okay, it will export the file in my desktop here. Let me share my screen. Okay, which is the Untitled 3. Enter to open. And I have this. If I want to show full screen, I press Ctrl L for full screen. So you have our PDF.
That's nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
did you manage to export?
Yes.
Again, please.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I go back to my InDesign. All right, I go to File, Export. Shortcut is Ctrl E. Okay, and then here, okay, Save as type PDF. Okay, if I click the Adobe PDF, right, there is another one which is Adobe Interactive PDF. Okay, there is two. One is for print, one is interactive. Normally for web purpose like ebook, we use interactive. Okay, the reason is so that we have like for example, we put hyperlink, we put a table of content, which we will link the pages and all that. It will be not supported in the print. It will be only supported in the interactive. Okay, so hyperlink, if you choose print, it will not support. Okay, so make sure you have to choose interactive. For example, let's say I choose interactive now. I click save. Let's say override, yes. Okay, here, you see number of pages you want to choose, blah, blah, blah. And then if I take a look at compression, you see the resolution, it become 72. And this one, you can increase this to 300. If you want to maintain the high quality image. All right, resolution, change it to 300. If the file size is not an issue. Okay, is it clear? Then you click export.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. Sorry, just now you said about the interactive. It's about maybe the text with the link. Can I just copy maybe the link and put it in the text, or is there any setting?
Yes, yes. You can make your text to become a hyperlink. Okay. Okay, example, just one last one. Let's say, for example, this text here. Okay, the text here, for example, I'm going to choose this, and then I go to, where is that? Interactive hyperlink. Okay, choose hyperlink, and then you just key in your URL. Let's say I go to www.youtube.com. Example, okay, and then that's it. So if I click outside here, nothing is there. When I select this text frame, I have youtube.com. All right, something like this. So if I go back to my export here, I go to export, I choose interactive now, click save, yes. Okay, so all pages, compression. Okay, this one I'm going to increase so that my image is quite high quality when people zoom in. All right, so I'm going to export, click OK. Okay, so you see, when I bring my cursor on top here, can you see that? Bring my cursor on top here, it says youtube.com. You can click and it will open your browser. You will get this message, allow, and then it will open up the youtube.com. Got it?
Okay, okay.
Right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Can you show again how we can put in the link?
Yeah, sure. Just now what I did was I select the text frame. Okay, so let's say I don't want to select the text frame. I go to a very specific word, let's say. Okay, example, let's say this word. I just double click or go to type 2. The object is overlapping. So let me just send to back. Okay, so double click, highlight the text. Okay, and then go to hyperlink panel. Hyperlink panel is here, window, interactive, hyperlink. It's still loading. Window, interactive, hyperlink. Okay, and then you just type your hyperlink. Just type only, enough. Okay, any selected or any highlighted text, it will apply directly. You don't have to do anything. Just type only www.facebook.com. Example, and then done. You just click outside. Of course, there will be a blue color text with the underline there. All right, so let's say I export this. Okay, save, yes, override. Click OK. Sorry, before that, one more thing. When we export, right, as an interactive, I click save. Mr. Ilango, please mute yourself. Mr. Ilango, please mute yourself. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, here I export to interactive PDF, right? There is a one option is for full screen. Okay, open in full screen mode. Okay, because normally ebook you want to read in full screen, so you can check this right away when you export. Okay, so let's say I export now. Okay, then I go to open from my desktop. Okay, so when I open this PDF, right, sorry, it will ask you, come again.
When we want to save the link, right, we want to export it, we must save it as interactive, is it?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Why I can't open? Oh, okay, it's already open. Let me just close this. Okay, I'm going to open again. Enter. It will say this open is this document is trying to put a blah 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 in full screen. Okay, just check yes, and it will become in full screen. Okay. And the text here, you can click and then it will go to your Facebook. You can just have to allow this. Okay, did you guys manage to export? Did you all manage to export?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, I think we'll end the class now. Okay, before we end the class, okay, the document when you save, right, you need to save it as a InDesign file, INDD. All right, and then you choose your location, give a file name, and then save. You can always open it back and edit. All right, then you can close your file. Okay, let me share a link for you to fill up a feedback form. Okay, please help me to fill up the form.
Coach.
Yep.
What other interactive features that we can add in?
Okay, very good question. Okay, let me. Okay, if you saw the interactive, what we call, interactive menu there, right?
Where?
Did you find the interactive thingy there? What are the things there?
No.
1 minute, 1 minute. Let me put the feedback form link first before anybody leaves.
Okay. Ah, yes, I saw that we can add in video,
yep.
Twitter, Facebook,
yes,
email.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so basically that one all is a hyperlink lah. The interesting part is another one. Okay, can you guys see the feedback form link in the chat box? Please help me to fill up the form. And also there is a link for you to write some review on Google. If you like the training, please leave some comment in the Google. All right, so let me. Okay, come back here. If I go to interactive, bookmark, button form. Okay.
Wait, wait. I need to see. Wait.
No, I'm not going to show you.
Oh, you're not going to show me? Okay.
No. Okay. Okay. This one looks nice. Okay. So, for example, this page transition, right? Okay. Page transition, you can do like a flipping book.
Yes. Well, but I can't see your screen, Coach. You're not going to show.
You can't see my screen,
Yeah.
Right? How come you cannot see? Got now?
Ah, okay. Window, interactive. Okay.
Okay, can you see the page transition?
Page transition, yes.
Okay, click on the page transition. All right, here, let me see. Transition, I'm going to put Oh, okay. Okay, it's so many years already I didn't use this. They removed one of the effect actually, because the reason is Flash no longer supported in HTML, right? Okay, so they remove one of the effect actually. Okay, that's the page turning effect.
Yes.
Anyone here using an older version in InDesign?
Page turn SWF only.
Where is that? You have, is it?
Yes, I have.
What version are you using?
What version? InDesign CC.
CC what?
CC what?
But basically not the latest one, right?
Not the latest. CC 2017.
Okay. So older version, you will have a page turn SWF only. Okay. Why SWF? It's a Flash format. Okay. Flash format no longer supported by browsers. Okay. That's the reason. Okay. But you can try to put the page turn, and then you just apply that. For example, I'm at page 2 right here. Let's say, for example, I put cover. Okay, so it's like dropping down. All right, and then direction down, speed medium, and then I go to pages. I go to third page, change the transition to another what we call another transition. Let's say push curve maybe. I don't want push, a split.
I have to do it individually, Coach.
You can highlight all your pages and you can apply the transition.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's say first page, I put a different effect. Zoom in. or maybe zoom out. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so after I apply all this, okay, I go to export again, choose interactive also, click save. Okay, let me just close this. Click save, yes, and then choose all page and then export, click OK. Okay, it's completed, then click yes. Okay, can you see that? Oh, sorry, so sorry. Let me share my screen. Okay, I close my ebook now. In my desktop, Untitled 3, when I open, okay, it's already zoom effect, because I'm not sure whether you saw or not. Okay, when I go to next page, okay, can you see that? It's like dropping down. Okay, and then next page, you have some transition there. Okay, you can try that. Okay, this still in PDF. Okay.
How do you see that? How I go to screen slideshow.
Did you all learn anything new today?
Yes, a lot,
Yes.
a lot.
Too many.
Okay.
Too much.
Great. No problem, no problem.
Coach, not turning, coach.
Okay, sorry. When you export, right, you cannot export as a PDF. You need to export as SWF.
Okay.
You go to export, the export format, you change it to SWF.
Export.
It will open up in your browser.
SWF. Don't have.
Share your screen.
Oh, Flash Player.
Flash
SWF.
Player.
Yes, there is. Okay. Oh, this require version Adobe Flash Player.
That's why. It's no longer supported. They're going to stop entirely already.
Oh. So cannot do
That's
that.
why latest version don't have.
Mm.
But the effect is quite cool actually.
Then how? Cannot use it?
Cannot.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Hopefully you guys already fill up the form. Have you guys done with the form? Okay. If you have completed the form, I think we can end the lesson now. Thank you so much for attending. All right. And the same session will be repeated on this coming Saturday, and we also have some paid training upcoming. I haven't updated anybody yet. All right. So I'll let you guys informed.